Hey, awkwardly awesome podcast in three, two, one. Yay! It's awkwardly awesome podcast. Hi, I'm your host, Jason Freeman. I'm a professional speaker who ironically has a speech impediment. I specialize in speaking to junior high and high school students about kindness, courage, creativity, and adventure. But today I'm so honored to have two amazing guests. I mean, the more I get to know these two, the more I'm like, wow, these people are exceptional. I'll tell you a little about them, but first, the intro.
Today's guest, Daniela and Emilio Roman.
This is awkward. So, finding the courage to tell our stories with confidence and clarity matters. Danielle and Emilio Roman are international best-selling authors and speakers. They are passionate about helping entrepreneurs write their books to leverage their brand. This power couple helps many authors and world influencers share important stories on their popular biweekly live show. Their show currently has over 10,000 monthly views, and this is projected to double in 2022. Yes, I'm thrilled to interview them. And I'm going to bring them on now. Yay!
Hello, Jason.
Hey, Jason. Oh, man, thank you for that introduction. Man, just love what you do, love what you stand for. Thank you so much, brother. That was an awkward moment, right?
Yeah, it definitely was. As much as I tried to avoid them, they seem to happen.
I love it. I love it. We love. I mean, you were on our show, which you mentioned with the viewership that we've been getting, and when you came on, we had a lot of people asking about you and just kudos and love what you're doing. So yes. So thank you for being a friend of the Co-author Network.
And such an inspiration.
Thanks. Let's jump right in. I want to start with the amazement that you're creating now, and then we'll back up. So, in the last how many years have you published how many books?
Yeah. So yeah, great question. I mean, we're surprised. We have to sometimes just count because we started off with a co-authorship, right? We all know that a co-authorship it's the easiest and the best way to really get into writing your book because you write a chapter. So we started off in Canada. Well, first I started with my book, number one, and then I got into a few co-authorships. Then I got my wife in. Fast forward, we're like in like 18 to 21. I mean, we're like in combination. And we're in the Guinness Book of World Records. You can see here for being one of the most authors signing a book simultaneously. So we're so grateful.
How many authors signed? Tell me about that book project that got you into the Guinness Book of World Records.
Sure. Let me go ahead and actually, I'll do better than that because I don't trust my memory. So, but the certificate explains it all. And so here it is, the official participation. And it says the participated it has my name, Emilio Roman, participated in the following record event. The most authors signing the same book simultaneously is 126 and was achieved by Magnetic Entrepreneur in Canada at 4 Point Sheraton, Mississauga, Canada, on February 15, 2020. So I did this not alone, but I did this with other authors. It was a lot of preparation to run something like this. So thank you for highlighting that.
Wow. Wow. And you have tell me about your huge event you have coming up.
Yeah. So Jason, thank you. January 8th, 2022, here in New Jersey, and particularly Camden, New Jersey, where Emilio grew up, we are having the first ever business book camp. And it is for authors, aspiring authors, entrepreneurs, and there's going to be speakers that will, teach how to write your book, how to market, promote your book. I'm also going to have a book launch. We're having a book launch of my current book, Behind Closed Doors, I Survived Domestic Violence and You Can Too. That's going to launch live that day at 11 a.m. so people can see how it's done.
Yeah.
Dude. And Emilio, you were telling me about that. Oh, your friend Jenna and my friend Jennifer Gerald says hi.
Oh,
Yes!
Jennifer Gerald.
Oh.
And Jennifer is a co-author in here.
She's in here. Yes.
Yep.
Oh, I didn't even know that. That's so exciting.
Yeah, we
Jennifer,
absolutely
you
love.
constantly amaze me.
Mm-hmm.
So you were telling me about a promoter who's going to be part of this event. You were telling me right before the show, Emilio. Tell me about him.
Sure. So well, thank you again for highlighting our show on January 8th, 2020, right? And try, what is it, 9 days, 10 days? 2022. My math is not very good looking. What is it? How many days?
10 days away.
So 10 days away. So as you can imagine, we're all over, getting these the things going. But we have two VIPs, and that is Tim Burr. He's coming from
St. Louis.
And then we got Bruce Urban coming from
Florida.
These are two. We got a little show going, right? So the reason I say this because I typically forget, but women, that she's got a better memory and they don't forget anything. So
so key you two complete each other's sentences. It's so good.
This is all a show. The minute we're done here, man, we're going at it.
Oh yeah.
This is all for show. But we got Tim Burr to answer your question in full. There are two VIPs, and they help authors like you and I to really market our message, Jason. In fact, how many? I've been on ABC, CBS. I'm on a show tomorrow.
Yeah, he's lined up. Bruce has lined up so many interviews just this week for him to be on, speaking on his fitness background, because he also, has been a trainer for many years and has a degree in health and exercise science. So Bruce has lined up all these radio and TV interviews for him to speak of that because of what's coming up January 1st. We all make those New Year's resolutions, like I'm going to work out, I'm going to lose weight, so he's just been sharing his tips and experience.
So Emilio, what would you tell what would you advise us most people who set fitness goals and all excited, but then a few weeks into New Year's we're like
All right, well, what I would say is you have to talk to my publicist. I can't talk right now freely about this. I'm only kidding. This is great, but listen, I would love to. Are you seriously asking?
Yeah.
No, hey man, anything can happen. I have a system that we call the Fit 30, right? And that's what the news media has been highlighting me on. So I'll share it with you. And it's an acronym, right? Fit stands, it's an acronym. Do you remember what the F stands for? Focus. And then the I? You came up with it. Indulge.
I was going to say,
she came up with it. And what is the T?
Track.
So if you can remember this, okay, focus. So if you want to get fit, focus on the acronym. Okay, focus on one thing that you want to change. So typically it's a nutrition or the training. Most people try to do all of it, Jason. I say only focus on one. Right?
Wow.
That's it. Focus on one, for example, for 30 days. Okay, because what you really want to do is create a habit. So if you go in there with gangbusters, There's so many people, Jason, that can go ahead and do something. They can white knuckle it for like 30 days, and then they achieve their goal. And then what happens? They kaputs because they didn't make it a habit. You agree? You agree?
Yeah. This may have happened to me once or twice in the past.
So if you want, I'll continue on with the fit. You want me to share?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is what typically I only have 3 minutes or 2 minutes on the air, and they're really quick. It's like rapid fire before you know it. Thanks for coming on. I'm like, so I gotta.
Yeah, your clock is ticking already.
Yeah. So the F is to focus on one thing for 30 days. For example, for me, it's going to be sugar, right? So I'm going to focus only on the sugar and not the physical because I already have a routine. So I'm going to tell you viewers to do the same thing. Focus on one thing. If you're a smoker and you're smoking 1 pack a day, cut it down in half. If you have 3 cans of soda, break it in half. Now what happens is if you do this for 30 days, that one thing, Jason, I promise you, you are already in an elite group because by the time 30 days rolls around, 90% of the people who started a resolution are out of the picture. So you are part of an elite group. Now you go ahead and now you focus on the next thing because by this point, it's a habit now. You agree? By the time 30 days rolls around, you've gotten a pretty good habit and going on. So that's the fit. What happens? The I, which is indulge. Indulge, right? It sounds oxymoronic.
Yeah.
How can
it does.
Right? So what I'm telling you is this: celebrate the little wins. Every week, treat yourself, right? Not with that thing which you're trying to stop the smoking or the drinking, but just celebrate the wins, like, yeah. Now the whole point is we're ingraining it into our nervous system, right? So when you indulge, you celebrate the small wins. Finally, the T is for tracking. Do you agree that which gets measured gets results, right? So
that which gets measured gets results.
Yes, and that can mean really simple. That could mean go ahead and only weighing yourself once a week, right? So just go ahead and not doing it every day and going, oh my God, did I lose 10 pounds today, right? It gets frustrating. Jennifer, focus on one thing for 30 days. Yep, and that's it. If you follow the Fit 30 model that we've created, you're going to notice then now you can do the next best logical thing because we believe that discipline carries over into something else. Hey, indulge, celebrate
she's
the little.
Spelling it out for
Thank
everyone.
you so much. We love you.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully that helps. And if you got any questions, I can keep going, but thank you.
That's great. We have so much to cover. Oh, Jennifer has the tea.
Yep, she's got it all.
So Danielle, talk about the book you just held up a few minutes ago.
Sure. This came from me sharing my story previously a couple years ago in the first co-authorship. So you can see that. Yay. Because I shared my story, which is of domestic violence, from many years ago. So I shared that in my first co-authorship. And then Emilio and I actually, some months back, we're talking and we're like, the Spiritual Fitness Survivor book series we have has many stories of domestic violence, but also other stories of survival, not just domestic violence. So we felt this topic needed just a platform of its own. So that's why, we came up with Behind Closed Doors, and it's just about women's domestic violence stories and how they overcame.
What was it like sharing your story with the public for the very first time?
What was it like?
Yeah. What was it like for you?
It was challenging because it's something I didn't think I would ever do. And, with Emilio's encouragement, he's like, we have on all our books the series Spiritual Fitness Survivor. We cannot heal in secret. And
we cannot heal in secret. Oh my gosh, I love that.
Yeah, and that was like one of the best lines I've ever heard. And that just inspired me because that's what I was doing for about 30 plus years, just burying it and holding it in and not dealing with it. And then looking back to different things that, happened in our life, like I went through depression and eating disorder and different things, anxiety. And I'm like, this all stems from holding in this traumas, So you have to release it. And that's what, that's why I decided to share my story, in the co-authorship. And then ever since, just, sharing it. And then in here, just encouraging other women to do the same. Because I've had other women reach out to me from me sharing, saying, wow, my daughter's going through this, or your story really inspired me because I went through that. So, that kind of really helped me, like to decide, yeah, I made the right decision in doing that.
I have to ask you this before I get to the comments because it's just you mentioned something and I don't know if I've ever asked this question before, but how would you describe the pain of trying to heal in secret?
Hmm. Honestly, I didn't even think about it because I just went on with my life, normal every day. You get up for work, you take care, I took care of my son, took care of the home. I was married for 20 plus years, and just you get up and you just do. And you don't think about it, you just bury it, and that's the thing. Like I didn't deal with it. And it
Hmm.
wasn't honestly, till I met Emilio and what I share with him, I never even shared in my 20-year marriage, So that's how much
Wow.
I just buried it.
Wow.
So it didn't come out literally until 30 years later. And then once it came out, that was a release. That was like a weight lifted off my shoulders. It really was, because forgiveness is a big thing, not just forgiving, who hurt you, but I had to forgive myself, because for many years, in my mind, I would blame myself. Like, why did I put myself in that situation? Why did I even, deal with this person, or involve myself with this type of person? You blame yourself because you figure certain things happen, you have to take responsibility, right? You put yourself there. But at the same time, I was very young, I was naive, and you don't know what you don't know. And you kind of get sucked in. But by doing, sharing my story the first time, and then now doing this, I can talk about it. Before, I couldn't talk about it without getting upset. Now it's because I've, accepted it and healed, that I can just, I can speak about it, encourage other women to do the same.
This is such I mean, you guys are the power couple, and this is such a beautiful story of what a power couple does. Because Emilio, you encourage your wife to share a story that she hadn't even shared before, and then now. And now the healing continues because the co-authors in the book get healing from sharing that story, and then the people reading the book get healing, and that just ripples out from your love as a couple. That's goosebumpy.
You know what, Jason? Thank you for that acknowledging. And I just have to say, how proud I am of Daniela. And I just wanted to share this with anyone watching this. If you're going through what she went through, Jason, when she said she buried it, it manifested itself. While she may not have had the nightmare, what she is really, what I heard her not say is that it manifested because she would not look people in the eye. It wasn't until we got together where she wouldn't stare people in the eye. She's a good, beautiful hearted person. She wasn't closed off, but there were certain things that she didn't trust in men and people of authority. And until we had this, connection, now she's speaking. She would have never been doing, well, according to her, she would have never been doing something like this. So I'm just blessed that she did it. I was in some small way, but she's enriched my life for sure.
Wow, oh, goosebumpy. One more question before we get to comments, because it's blowing up. So what would you? How would you counsel someone listening who is in an abusive situation at the moment?
Yeah. I would tell them, there is help, there is a way out, because especially when you're younger, or you have kids, or you're dependent on that person financially, you just feel stuck, But And I didn't even realize that back then, I just kind of tried to handle it on my own. But today there's so many resources out there. There's so many organizations. There's, just too many resources and help out there to not, to not go to, like, you can't just stay stuck in that. Yeah, they need to know that there is help out there. Don't be scared. Don't feel, I know they feel threatened. A lot of men will say, oh, I'll take your kid, or, financially they're stuck, but there's a lot of help out there. There really is.
1-800 numbers in the book. There's 1-800
That's
numbers.
true. I have a resource page in this book that you'll when it comes out, that gives the organizations in your area. Then there's an 800 number that's for a good part of the country. It's a 1-800 number for domestic violence if you're in need. So there is help out there, and you don't have to stay stuck.
We don't have those right there, but we promise we're going to come back to the feed because this book here is just a mock copy. So the content is still in print. So, but I promise you, we're going to circle back on this channel, anyone who watches it, and we're going to have those contacts for you.
And also they can just Google them.
True.
Google them today if you need to. So I love it. The comments are the blending of your wisdom. Tina, Emilio, do you want to eat that one?
Okay, yeah, sure. I will attempt 30 days of reducing my sugar. Amen. Oh Lord, red velvet chocolate. Oh Lord. Then what is it? Then measure it. Oh, so I think she's doing something different. Talk about self-control. Thank you. How do you replace the sugar? Honestly, this is what I tell people. Don't replace the sugar. I'm going to give you stuff that's almost contrarian. Just cut it in half. Okay? Listen, if you're going to eat, enjoy it. Savor the moment. Life is too short to be playing.
Maybe you're going to eat.
Yeah. I tell people straight up. I said, listen, if you're going to smoke a cigarette, enjoy it. I mean, seriously, if you're going to have that drink, enjoy it. Stop playing games. Just be honest with yourself. Just set some systems up. Do what you're going to do. Moderation. But don't play this game about substitution. Just go all in or all out.
Love it.
That's why they fired me from all the gyms, because I was telling my clients something else. I'm just kidding.
Daniela, do you want to eat that one from Jennifer?
Oh yeah, we cannot heal in secret. Amen. That's the truth.
Tiffany, who's a great adventurer, and she's up to so many amazing things, says hi.
Hello.
Hi, Tiffany. God bless you.
And then I think you know these folks.
Yeah, hey,
Deborah,
you know this folks.
Videos, little things.
She's awesome. Yeah,
she's got a lot of energy.
Deborah is awesome.
Thank you, Deborah.
And she says it's the Italian way. Maybe to hold on to secrets. I'm not sure what she's referring.
She knows. I didn't know she's talking about food or she's talking about that.
Yeah, but I get what she's saying.
But you know what? If it is, yeah, probably. What happens at home stays at home.
Speaking of food, and we'll get back to this. What kind of restaurant did you run, Danielle?
A Mediterranean cafe. So it was Mediterranean food, like hummus and gyros and different kind of salads, baba ganoush, if you know what that is, falafel.
Oh, you're making me hungry. Okay, continuing on before I just went off to eat. Jennifer says you just go through the motions and survive one day at a time. Life becomes mechanical.
Yeah, that's the truth.
Amen. Yeah, we love Jennifer, and we're super excited. And I don't know, have you ever had Jennifer Jarrell on the show? I'm pretty sure.
Oh my gosh, of course.
We love her.
She's brilliant, of course.
Yeah, beautiful voice.
Beautiful voice.
Yeah, amazing voice.
She's brilliant. She really is. So yeah, I love this. This is great.
Tina says,
incredible title. I'll read it if you like. Incredible title. We cannot heal in secret. You've inspired me as a domestic abuse survivor myself and suffering from PTSD. I believe I substitute sugar to ease the pain. Wow. How can I reduce or what can I replace the sugar with, needing the false energy? Honestly, you got something for that?
Yeah, for me, Tina, I've always been into fitness as well and working out, but you slack off sometimes. But I always jump back into a workout, whether it's just a walking routine or grab an accountability partner and walk with a friend or yoga, something you can replace it. And they say if you get the cravings, if you just drink water and let a minute or 2 minutes go by, the craving will pass because it's not that you really want that or need that. It's just, it'll pass. But yeah, replace it with, something using your energy and working out.
Yeah. You know what? Thank you for that. It's beautiful. And what I would say is, I would suggest take water. A lot of people don't just like the water. So you can take your favorite vegetable,
fruit,
right? There's some people with vegetables like me. I like tomatoes. I grew up in a Puerto Rican family, and I take a tomato and I put salt on it. There's something with the salt.
Fresh Jersey tomatoes.
I mean, it does something for me where it fills me up. Or you can take what Daniela, what we're talking about. Take a fruit, infuse
your water with fruit.
That'll eliminate the craving instantly.
Yeah.
Where do we send you the bill for this, Tina? Just let us know.
Yeah.
Deborah says these two are absolutely incredible! Exclamation point! Exclamation point! Exclamation point! They remind me of myself and my husband.
Oh yeah, they're a beautiful couple.
Thank you so much, Deborah. We really appreciate you, and we love the opportunity you're giving us here to connect with your tribe. Thank you.
And Deborah also says, I believe I had a stroke because of some family issues I tried to bury.
Yes.
Yeah, just open up. Yeah, don't heal. Again, you can't heal in secret. There's enough cannot be said about getting around a group of people, right? Think about how much further and faster can you fly if you flew with the right tribe. Austin J. Haynes, who's one of the speakers at our event and also my coach and mentor, he's helped Daniela and I when we go through it. Right now we're here, but when we get off here, we're like a regular couple. We're like, hey, did you do this? Hey, how about the Jason show? What time am I on with Jason? And then you get the dynamics, and we can easily get caught up in, well, I already told you. I'm like, what do you mean you told me? So you have to have people around you that can keep you grounded and centered.
Yeah.
Plus, it helps me. I can talk about her behind her back, and it's all good because it's Austin.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah.
That's true. Burying things does. It's been proven. Stress and all that creates disease, creates cancer. It's the truth.
Yeah. Yeah. It's energy, right, Jason? It's all energy. And so when we understand the fundamentals of energy comes through us and out of us. And if we don't allow it to come through, right, and we just let it lodges into organs and tissues. It's just a law. It's just a law. And so this is why one of the things that takes people out, especially if you're recovering from sugar, you're recovering from addiction. If you're in recovery, anger is that thing that'll take you out because we become resentful. And we've all heard the sayings, right? That resentment is like taking poison and expecting the other person to die. There's truth in that wisdom.
Yeah.
Let it go. Find ways to let it go. Healthy ways.
Wow, so powerful conversation, and I love this. I so didn't expect to be here in the conversation, but this is always so needed. And so you came on. I asked you questions and about publishing books and about your event, and you both are giving great advice. And so now let's back up a little bit. When you both were in junior high, what did you believe your lives would become? What did you want to do with the rest of your lives?
Oh, man.
Wow.
Man, you really, there was something you just said there that really touched me. You don't mind if I share?
No, please.
Wow. Because I'm seriously, you just said something. I was in junior high school And I remember the teacher, his name was Mr. Walker. He says, look to your left, look to your left, look to your right. This was in 8th grade. Here, junior high school was 6th to 8th grade for us. He goes, you won't be here next year. Someone is not going to be here next year. Not alone graduate. Not only are you not going to graduate from junior high school, you won't graduate high school. And I remember just like, what? Like, because I grew up where my mom was on welfare, public assistance. I grew up in an urban area. I wanted to get the hell out, man. I was hungry. I wanted to get out of this situation. And for him to tell me, someone I looked up to say, some of you are not even going to graduate here. It held me, Jason. It really grabbed me. Fast forward, I locked on to that moment. I said, that's not going to be me. I graduated junior high school. I had the opportunity to go to Catholic school. And then fast forward, in my mid-20s, I was in a shopping, I want to say like a Costco. And I saw this gentleman. I'm getting goosebumps, and I kid you not, right now. He says to, and the person I was with, I said, can you just give me a moment? It took me back to that moment where I froze up, and I just saw him, and I said, Mr. Walker, my name is Emilio Roman. I just wanted you to know that I graduated. I just wanted you to know that. And it wasn't because I wanted to be mean or anything, but because he did motivate me. And maybe that was his intention. But it was because of that person who had the courage to say something totally awkward or totally off different path, that it did what it was intended to do. And I thanked him. I walked away. And here I am talking about it today, because I believe it's a defining moment for me, Jason.
You're right. He did say something that wasn't comfortable for all of you to hear, but really, and he knew what it would take to inspire the students who would listen, and you are one of the ones who listened.
Yeah.
So let's continue on for a sec with your life. You went into the Marines. Yes. What did you learn from the Marines that helps you most in business today?
Yeah, that's a great question. I learned how to handle disappointments a lot better, right? Everything about the military is hurry up and wait. You hurry up to get to a certain spot, and it's rush. And then you go there and you wait 10 hours. So it's a great question. So obviously, outside of the honor, courage, and commitment, which, Jason, is the core of the motto of the United States Marine, that's what we stand for. I bring those core values into our spiritual fitness academy and into our co-author network. I bring those core values into my business.
Wow. And follow up, why is handling disappointment important as an entrepreneur?
Yeah, you know what? Because I'm going to go back to what my Austin, we love him. I just got done talking with him. He's taught us to expect it, accept it, and get past it. Because if you're an entrepreneur, Jason, the word itself, entrepreneur, means risk taker. It's French for risk taker. So you need to know that if you're going to be an entrepreneur, you're going to take risk. And we've all heard this before. If you're an entrepreneur, the greater the risk, the greater the rewards. But it's not going to come without going through some failures. This event, can I share this with you? This event right here, I've had 40-something events. I've had events before where this one got sold out. It's the first one ever. I've had
you had how many?
40 plus events. And ready for this? I was the only one there. So the point was, I've had events where nobody showed up. So it's because of that. I've been doing events for like workshops, right? And I'm all excited. And all of a sudden, nobody shows up. It's because of that entrepreneurial spirit. And, understanding that it's not about me. If I'm serving people, that's where it's at. It's about serving others.
Wow, that's so inspiring. Think of you if you had given up on the 25th event. Yeah. The people who are coming to this one wouldn't have the opportunity to be there.
Amen. Amen, brother.
Wow. So backing up again, Daniela, in eighth grade, what did you want to do with your life?
Just make it out of the 8th grade. Just kidding. No, well, honestly, like I'm not as I like school. I was always more, how can I say this? I loved helping people. I love talking to people. Ever since I'm young, like I would always have friends or family just come to me like for advice or to talk. My mom always told me, she's like, you should be a psychologist or something like that. You know what I mean? And I was I guess challenged a little bit in school as far as like I'm not one to sit there like him. He's a reader. He's probably read more books than I don't know anyone I've ever met. And I'll read, but I get easily like I lose focus. Like I'm more of the physical aspect. Like give me something to do physically, and I'm going to do it. I can't sit and just listen to a teacher for an hour and a half. You know what I mean? So, but in the back of my mind, it always was about helping people. Ever since I'm little, like I like to give, I like to help people. So that was always just something, and cooking. That was my passion. That still is my passion. I've been cooking since I'm 8 years old. So I guess you could say I kind of did do what like I set out to do. Like I had a restaurant, and I will be doing something, in the near future. Yeah, with food, like incorporating into what we do, because that's my passion is just cooking and feeding people.
So how are you thinking of incorporating food into what you do?
Well, for me, cooking helped a lot with my healing, and without me even realizing it before this even all came out. It was just like I get in a zone when I'm like, it's just like people who work out, they get in a zone, or you play sports, you're in a zone. Well, when I cook, I'm like in another world. Like it just takes me somewhere else. And it helps like whatever challenge I'm going through. If I'm upset about something, if I'm stressed, then I'm all in with preparing whatever it is I'm preparing.
So can I stop her there? I piss her off on purpose so I can get her to prepare, make something to eat.
Yeah.
Because she gets upset. So I'm like, anyway, I'm just kidding. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So anyway, so I want to incorporate that with women. I want women, that enjoy cooking, or maybe they don't realize they can enjoy cooking, and it can be a stress reliever for what they're going through. If they were in, similar situations with domestic violence or whatever it was, that I'm going to I'm going to have something where we can, whether it's Zoom or something where we're cooking and we're talking.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
And talking about their stresses and what they're going through. And they're going to understand as we're cooking and doing it, releases so much of that stress.
You're the first one she's saying this to. So yeah, you heard it live here. What she's saying to everyone is she's got a course coming out. Everything is going to be in 2020 to help
2022. You are stuck.
I am so stuck. I'm so with my numbers. That's why I need her aside from the cooking. But yeah, you heard it here on your show live. Outside of the book, she's going to be doing workshops, and she's going to be helping women to overcome these challenges, or at least face them through cooking. Isn't that
I absolutely love it, because it's so tough when we have something that's tough to talk about, just to sit there and talk about it. But if these women and you are doing something with your hands, then the conversation flows more easily. Right. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. It's brilliant.
Thank you, Jason.
Thank you.
It's creating, they're creating something, and it totally just takes the mind off of, and then it kind of, for me, not to make light of the situation, but really puts things in perspective. Like, okay, you know what? Maybe this is not, because it doesn't have to be just, with domestic violence. It's the challenges women, face. So it really helps to put things in perspective, and, it lightens the whole situation. So that's exciting.
And you have a beautiful meal at the end of,
exactly.
the time of talking. It's just so good.
And a skill, right? How about that, Jason? And then remember, the biggest thing is, honestly, it's a safe space, right? It's a safe space. Space is the first thing. Then they're going to walk out with a skill, which that builds their confidence. Because many women that come out of domestic violence are lacking a confidence, and they don't trust others. Yeah. So this is a whole experience that she's creating, and it's all coming out of behind closed doors. I survived domestic violence, and you can too.
Yeah.
Gosh, I love it. So speaking of love, I just gave myself a segue there. So you two went to the same high school, but you weren't high school sweethearts at all.
No.
No, polar
In my
opposite.
mind, I was, but no, it wasn't.
We grew up in different parts of the track. What's that saying?
The other side of the tracks.
I was from the other side of the tracks. I'm Puerto Rican. Her
I'm
dad's Italian. It wouldn't have gone well.
It wouldn't have mattered what. I wasn't allowed to date any. It doesn't matter what nationality. It wasn't happening back then. But yeah, we went to the same school.
So let's get back to that. I'm going to leave that as a cliffhanger for a sec. Jennifer Joe says, "I don't trust food." What words would you offer to her?
Okay, well, I'm Jennifer. Love you. I just don't understand what that means. I don't trust food. Meaning, could you just explain? Because we need food, right? It's a nutrient.
Does she not trust herself with food?
Oh yeah,
that may be an issue.
Yeah, okay.
I don't trust myself with food either.
Yeah, okay. So that's why. So she
maybe.
being funny.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So you're both on different sides of the tracks in high school, and then I noticed you're together now as a power couple. So fill me in a tiny bit between high school and where you are right now.
Yes. Ask me. She asked me a question. What was the question you asked me when we started? When we had just connected.
Yeah, when we reconnected about 5 years ago almost, I said to him, I had liked him all through high school. He just didn't know it. And he's like, "Oh, really?" And I said, "You don't even remember me." And he did.
And then I said, "Oh, I remember you. We were in Miss Sullivan's class. You would walk in there with your bow-font hairdo with all the hairspray. She came in with the little Catholic skirt, and she was the only one who had this laughter. See that? She would chew gum, and the teacher would always call her out, Daniela, and she was the only one. And the minute the teacher took her gum away, here she was, popped another one in. It was the craziest. I've never seen anything like it. So I said, "Oh, I remember you." Yeah.
So yeah, apparently he didn't remember me, but yeah. So then 28 years passed. He lived his life, I lived my life, and through the power of social media,
oh yeah,
we connected. He actually commented on a mutual friend's post or something, and I said, "Oh my God!" Like I saw his name. I hadn't seen that or really thought about that name in 28 years. And I was just like, wow. And I was going through something, at that time, and a separation, divorce, and all that. And I'm like, yeah, that's, not the time. But, we talked, and there was just this strong connection, that I was like, all right, oh boy, I'm in trouble now, So, and I went with it.
Yeah.
So what advice would you have to single people like me, still looking for that special someone?
Yeah. Hey, brother, I'm telling you, just enjoy it while you can.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Time to go.
Listen. We have, this is great. We have a lot of single friends like Austin. And I mean, you know what? The right person will show up as long as you keep doing the right next thing. So check in with yourself. Really, do you really want a relationship? Right? And if so, here it is. If you want to really be in a relationship, don't just wait for things to organically happen. When people say to me, I want it to organically happen. You know what? God gave you a mind, a brain, and really use it. Put it out. What is it that this ideal person is? What would they look like? Right? Put it out. And when here's ready for this, it's very important. What you write, you invite. And that's
when you write, you invite.
Yeah. So that way you can see, I'm looking for somebody who's honest, right? For you, Jason, I'm looking for somebody who's honest. I'm looking for somebody who accepts my awkwardly awesomeness, right? And so you go through the list.
Not only accepts, but who loves my awkwardly awesomeness.
That's
right. Yeah. And also put down, two people who wear glasses and bad credit don't mix, right? So you don't want somebody who got bad credit if you got bad credit. So anyway, just kind of, I'm having fun with this, but just really put it out there, and you'll watch and you'll see that now, because it went from here. It's like we can't heal in secret. You've got to bring it out. So it's something to think about.
Powerful, powerful. I love this variety of subjects we'll engage in right now. Back to food.
I've never had a good relationship with food, so it doesn't give me peace, just stress. Okay, I understand that.
Okay, yeah, definitely. But but I'm sure, given that and respectful, the thing is, obviously we need to know how to prepare, right? Especially if you don't have that healthy relationship. So you got to find out. Okay, Daniela, because of her background, she was a trainer for a particular time. She teaches me stuff about food that blows my mind. She does a food combination. It sounds like what you need, Jennifer, is a food combination, right? And when you get to understand what certain foods don't make a good combination, certain foods will make you run away. And so there's a bunch of stuff that we don't know what we don't know. Yeah. But I do appreciate, Jennifer, that you clarify that, because now I know what you're saying. Yeah. And many of us don't have a healthy relationship, so you're not alone.
But that can be turned around.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Hi from Texas. Dale is just an amazing. I've had him on Awkwardly Awesome podcast. He's brilliant.
Hey, well then that means we have to have him on our show. So if you're co-signing on Daryl, please connect with us. We'd love to have you on our show.
That's an awesome invitation, Dale. I'll be sure to connect you both, and please remind me if I forget. And back to romance. Deborah says, I met my Mr. A at 46 on Match.com and married for 18 years now. Oh, Deborah, I love that story. Thank you.
That's a beautiful story. Wow. Congratulations, Deborah. I love your videos, by the way. Keep them coming. I love these videos. She's high energy. She's got the hat on. I saw a couple of things with the dogs and stuff. That was pretty cool. I love it.
That's awesome. And Deborah will be on the Awkwardly Awesome podcast in a few weeks.
Oh, cool.
Make sure you tag us on that one.
Yeah.
And then Deborah says, I'm back to food. I'm starting a 30-minute easy meal
show. Oh, okay, to help survivors. Awesome.
That is, you definitely need to connect. You two need, you may be able to collaborate on some projects here, because you want to help people. Yeah.
So we have stuff to cover, and we have less than 15 minutes. So why should people consider sharing their story as part of a book?
For me, I would say kind of like what I touched on earlier.
Yeah.
You want to share, and most, let's face it, most people's stories are of, an experience they had, or, something they've overcome or went through. So not only to just release that and help the healing for yourself, but to share your experience, because everybody deals with things differently, so whether it's domestic violence, whether it was child abuse, whether it was depression, it doesn't matter what it is. How you handled it and how you went through it is going to, enlighten someone else and be like, oh, wow, well, I never thought of that. Or, this is how you dealt with it or how you handled it. So you're sharing in order to help someone else. And that's our main mission for sharing stories, or to have people share stories, is to help somebody else.
And if Jason, if you don't mind, I'd like to add to this, if you don't mind.
Yeah, it's an interview. I meant to sit on what you have to say, Emilio. I don't mind.
I love it. I love it. This is great, because we do something when we're giving a workshop or whatever. We do something called Whisper Down the Lane. Okay, we do something called Whisper.
What?
So Whisper Down the Lane. It's an exercise that we do. You do it as kids, but we've all done it. So what I do is to talk about how important it is to share your story, because if you don't share your story, somebody else is going to tell it, and it's not going to be the way it happened. So when you write your story, whether in an anthology or a chapter or your own book, you're setting the record straight. Okay. And what we do is this. Let's say we have 4 or 5 people. We've done this with 5 people in the room. That's it. I'll go like this. Emilio likes hot dogs with lots of relish. And by the time it comes back to me,
you're making me hungry again.
So by the time it comes back, what typically happens?
Total opposite. Emilio is a vegan.
I'm a vegan.
Like, the whole story got twisted. Yeah.
It's crazy.
And that's real life. You let someone else tell your story.
Yes.
It will not be the way you would tell it.
Set the record straight. Thank you for that.
So how about I suppose this doesn't work that well for entrepreneurs either if they're letting someone else tell their story.
Yes. Yeah, brother. So it's important. It's important. You have opportunities. And again, we're grateful that you are allowing us to share our story, right? And that's why we got our stories in books and anthologies. And if you're an entrepreneur watching this and you don't have a story, have you ever heard that stories sell, facts tell? You should be leading with your story. You're leading, Jason, with your story. That's why people love you and are attracted with Awkwardly Awesome, because you're leading with your story. That's what we can control. We have that. People should be telling their story. Well, you want to share it with us or with someone else? We just encourage you to share your story. Get it? Remember, what you write, you invite.
Where you write, you invite. And keeping on the theme of stories, but going to people telling their stories verbally. That wasn't a good segue, but you not only have a once a week show, you are on twice a week.
Yes, yeah, brother.
And I have to ask, you just had a ninja on your show.
Yes.
Tell me about the ninja.
Yes, Gigi Vasquez Hill. She's from Maryland. And I don't know the name of the type of, martial arts because it's like this long word and I'm going to screw it up. But she didn't start till she was 31 years old, actually. And she is, I believe she's working on her black belt. And she is something. She is a little powerhouse, but it's more about, she said, the discipline and the family that she's created within her school and her master, I believe they call it. So yeah, she's very inspiring, and because of a lot of things she was going through, like we all do, challenges in her life, this really, really helped her get through a lot of that.
It's so, I love that. Sometimes we think at 31 like we just have to keep doing what we're doing, but to pick up a new thing.
Later in life, and it's difficult, but you can do it. You can start anything you want at any time.
We're hardwired. We're hardwired in our nervous system for comfort. That's why anytime there's something new, that an opportunity presents itself, even though you may want it, there's a part of you that wants to just keep you safe, right? So you must be clear. That's why what you write, you invite. I have to go back to that. So what is it that you want out of 2022? If you're just going to go into 2022 with, it's just Happy New Year and you're faking it with everybody else. But if you go 2022, if you're like Jennifer, if you're like Deborah, and you're like, you know what? I don't have a healthy relationship with food or sugar, and you write it down, but now you have to also invite and be open to a solution, right? So I like the fact that someone says, hey, I'm going to do that Fit 30 that Emilio recommended. You have to be open-minded and take action. Don't stay in that comfortable state. Don't do it. Action.
It's like they say, nothing changes if nothing changes.
Amen.
You have to make a change.
Speaking of making changes, yes, I think that segue worked a little better. You have a gift for everybody.
Oh, we do?
We do? Reminds me.
Oh, I thought like some what do you call it? Just a sec. a PDF 7 spiritual gifts for entrepreneurs.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, that's good. No,
I was confused. I'm like, wait, did we promise something?
we do. So no, thank you for reminding us. And so it's fun. You guys know that we love to talk about business and stuff. So we call it 7 spiritual gifts. In fact, if someone wants to write this down now, and then we're going to go ahead, send us an email, and we're going to send it to you as we closer to the event. It's called 7 spiritual gifts for the entrepreneurs, for entrepreneur success. And it's be alive. Okay. B is the breath. E is energy. A is for what? Awareness. And then give me the next letter.
L.
L is for what? What's the L for? Laughter. That's what we're doing. Laughter. Give me the next letter. I is for intuition, right? It's that gut feeling. Okay. And what's the last letter?
V. No, it's not the last. V.
And V is for vision, right? Without a vision, man will perish, right? This is the vision. Give me the last letter. E. And then E is for energy and emotion, right? We said E is energy. So emotion. Why is the last one so important? Did you know that our lives are created, right? Emotions are part of our lives. Not understanding how emotions work will really take you out. Not understanding joy, anger, frustration. So it says be alive. So if you want to be alive going into 2022, we'll go ahead and we'll give you a downloadable PDF highlighting all of that. But I figured the gift now is to give you the gift.
So what should people email?
Thank you. Give them the email, baby.
Co-author network info@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Okay.
And by the way, that's in a book that I did in Canada with Dr. Brian Tracy. We know Dr. Brian Tracy. I actually came out and that was my chapter. That was my anthology. I came out with Michael Tracy and I shared that for entrepreneur success. We call them 7 spiritual gifts, right? The B is the breath. You have to understand the power of the breath. And here's what I'll share if you don't mind. It takes 1 full breath to bring you and I back to center. So if we're going to go into Jason, a negotiation, and I'm going to go do business with you, if I'm all over the place, and especially someone like me who has a type A personality, I can be spastic, right? My energy can turn off a lot of people, and it has. So what I do is I take 1 full breath, hold it, release, and it does something to me. It grounds me. It centers me. My tone is different. I can go in now, and instead of wanting to vomit how great I am and what I can do for you, I'm listening. 1 full breath.
So, you're amazing. So co-author network at gmail.com.
Yes.
Co-author network info.
Oh yeah, I knew there was another word, but I didn't want to just make another word up because
we wanted that one. We wanted to call it, but somebody had already beat us to the punch.
Yeah.
Co-author network info at gmail.com.
Thank you for that.
Thank you,
really appreciate it. So anybody who wants me, we'll send them a PDF. We're doing it leading right into the event. But I just gave you that, but we'll gladly send you one.
So what are your last thoughts for people as they head into 2022?
Well, for me, do something different. You know, whatever you did in 2021, that's done. It's over. You know, and if you weren't really happy or fulfilled in whatever it was in 2021, you have to do something different in 2022. So whatever that is for you, just go for it. Don't let fear or anxiety stop you, because this life is too short, and none of us is promised another day. So whatever it is, whatever you really want to do, whatever your passion or purpose is, just go for it. And make 2022. They always say every year, 2020 is going to be my best year. This year's going to be my best year. Just make every day your best day.
Make every day your best day.
Yes, and just keep moving forward.
Amen, brother.
Anything else, Emilio?
Yeah, thank you, brother. I want to piggyback off my beautiful wife here because done is better than perfect, right? Get it done. Daniela said, get it done. And a lot of us get stuck on perfect. And the truth is, just get it done. Done is good enough.
Done is good enough. And that's thanks for giving me the segue into my last question. So I talk about the power of doing our imperfect best. And to me, that means we have a vision of our best. And then when imperfections come up, we use those imperfections to learn from so we can move forward instead of stopping. What does doing your imperfect best mean to both of you?
Yeah, for me, it means that life shrinks or expands according to one's courage. So for me, have the courage to step into it, brother.
How about you, Danielle? Anything else?
Yeah. To piggyback off what he said, exactly. Just you have to have the courage to do what you want to do to begin with, right? Or a lot of us, like I said, we go by fear, and that's why we don't accomplish a lot of things, because like we said earlier, we're just in our comfort zone and we feel safe. We got to break away from that. If we want to achieve anything that we really want in life, and to leave a legacy, you want to leave a legacy. Like we have our grandson, baby Tomas. We want him to see, hey, my mom and we calls him abuelo. This is what they did. They wrote books. They shared their story. They helped people. That's what you want to leave a legacy.
Beautiful. Thank you. You two are truly a power couple. I'm just so inspired, and we could talk for another 2 hours, but
thank you, brother.
But everyone would be hungry by then. So
I'm hungry now. Cook while we talk. Jason's like helping me.
Thanks, both of you. Thanks. Oh my gosh, that's so awesome. Wasn't that fun? I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. And tune in for another amazing guest next week. And the outro.